Hello, my name is Sage, and I'm here today with my colleagues Ronan and Ella to analyze Dollar General's strategic position, social and cultural implications, and possible new strategies. Dollar General is a multi-billion-dollar corporation in the United States, on par with other major retailers like Walmart and Target. Whereas most major retail corporations focus on population-dense urban areas, Dollar General focuses on rural areas with small populations, which begs the question, how does Dollar General compete? In our analysis, we have found that the answer lies in the strategy and positioning of Dollar General. However, before we can get into how Dollar General competes, we first have to look at its business structure. To do this, we'll use the business model canvas. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like a more in-depth breakdown of Dollar General's business plan, but to summarize the most relevant points, we'll look closer at the value proposition, customer segments, and cost structure. The key value proposition for Dollar General lies in its rural locations, convenience, and low prices. Because of Dollar General positioning itself in less densely populated areas and in areas that experience supermarket redlining, it sets itself up to become the convenient and primary store for local communities. The discounted prices add to this effect because it helps attract customers to Dollar General. This is especially true with their targeted demographic of low-income families and budget-conscious individuals, as seen in their customer segments, as these groups will be most inclined to look for discounted prices. How Dollar General is able to provide such discounted prices lies in its cost structure, however, as their lean cost model, which prioritizes low operating costs and efficiency, allows them to charge lower prices. So now that we've introduced their business model, the next step is to analyze Dollar General's external positioning through the use of Porter's five forces. The first force, the risk of new entrants, was determined to be low, as Dollar General's overwhelming number of stores combined with their extremely low prices serve as an effective barrier to entry. The second force, rivalry between competitors, on the other hand, was determined to be quite high. Though there may not be many stores in the same location as Dollar General, there are still major retailers nearby who sell very similar products to Dollar General, making it pretty high. The third force, market power of buyers, is moderate because though there are other options with similar products somewhat nearby, many of Dollar General's customers are extremely price sensitive, as their target demographic are those with low incomes. Therefore, customers may stop buying if prices become too high because they cannot afford it. The fourth force, the market power of suppliers, is low because Dollar General only carries one brand of each product. So they hold all the power over suppliers and can therefore demand low prices because suppliers will compete to be the brand in their stores. The final force is the risk of substitution, which we have found to be low to moderate. It is moderate because other options for stores like independent grocery chains or chains like Walmart that carry similar products do exist. However, because of the distance these stores can be from residents, there is a bit lower risk as many will not be willing to or able to make the trip to these other stores. Therefore, through this industry analysis, we concluded that Dollar General is in a very good place in the industry. Next, we analyzed Dollar General's internal positioning through the use of the VRIO framework. We found that it achieves all categories, as it is valuable in its unique combination of low prices, convenience, close locations, and a large scale of operations. It is rare in the way they have store locations in rural areas with small population where most would struggle to succeed. It is inimitable as the first mover advantage Dollar Generals have by establishing themselves in low population areas before others, combined with their low prices, low operating costs, and high social legitimacy, makes it very difficult to copy. And it is organized in the way Dollar General's use of a mechanistic organizational design with a focus on efficiency, a short chain of command, a low span of control, and heavy centralization enables it to use its resources efficiently to their full capacity in order to successfully follow a lean cost model. Therefore, based on our firm analysis, Dollar General has a sustainable competitive advantage that fosters prosperity. Now, the question of what specific components contribute to their sustainable competitive advantage arises. The first component is their location, as their rural location dominance sets it apart from competitors who focus on urban areas, thus making it the primary store in many small communities. This unique positioning regarding location that makes it the primary store also helps strengthen a second component, convenience and customer loyalty, which is then only further strengthened by the third component of discounted prices that bring customers back. The last key component we've highlighted is the cost and operational efficiency, As touched on earlier with the lean cost model, this is a major factor in what allows Dollar General to build a sustainable advantage, as unlike other major chains, the low amount of workers at each location and only carrying one brand per product allows Dollar General to keep costs down, which in turn allows them to maintain low prices. Overall, all these factors build on each other and combine to create a very strong and sustainable competitive advantage.
Now that we've explored the strategic position of Dollar General, we must examine the current and changing environment. Presently, Dollar General operates on two principal ideas. The first one being their corporate motto, serve others. This motto shows how their current corporate culture is based on a customer-first attitude. It prioritizes customer service and customer loyalty as a basis for employees to improve. This also demonstrates an espoused value and belief of Dollar General, as serving customers is an entrenched element of their business approach that is spread across all stores. The second key idea Dollar General follows is their store slogan, being save time, save money every day. This illustrates the social environment Dollar General wants to fortify its presence in, as it's advertising its value proposition of convenience and low prices to consumers. It is also important to note that the environment around Dollar General is constantly transforming. The first change we'll look at is the physical change of more people moving to rural areas. In 2023 alone, there have been 291,400 Americans that have moved from cosmopolitan cities to rural counties. As seen on the graph, a sharp upward trend to recent years continues to grow. This is great for Dollar General because it strengthens their competitive advantage, because it increases customer traffic as Dollar General focuses its stores in rural areas. As a result of the increase in customer traffic, Dollar General is also able to augment their revenue. Unfortunately, not all recent changes have had a positive impact on Dollar General. One of such changes is the political and economic changes in the United States with the looming trade war. A key component of the incoming trade war is tariffs, which increases prices and thus increases inflation. When inflation is higher, expectations of inflation tend to rise, which further heightens inflation. Not only does this lead to higher prices, but it also leads to higher wages, in what is typically known as a wage price spiral. As a result, Dollar General's competitive advantage is weakened, because the operational costs rise with higher wages, thereby threatening their lean cost model, which has a low capacity for adjustment. The rise in prices also threatens the discounted price aspect of their competitive advantage, which turns away the price-sensitive consumers in their customer segment. However, the looming trade war is not entirely bad, as the rise in patriotic sentiments creates more incentive for customers to go to domestic chains to buy products, as they want to support their countries, which brings more customers to Dollar General. Another more harmful change for Dollar General in recent events is the change in the social environment to wanting more responsibility from major corporations. This has led to more negative public perception of Dollar General, as consumers are demanding more moral action from stores. This erodes the competitive advantage of Dollar General, as there is less consumer loyalty. There is less social legitimacy for Dollar General as a store. This is because the institutional logic of competency and morality are being called into question, causing a less positive social evaluation, and therefore less social legitimacy as a corporation. Dollar General perceived cosmetic approach to CSR, which is also now not being seen as enough. So if more action is not taken to improve moral views on the store, Dollar General may lose its social standing and many of its customers. Furthermore, there has also been a social change regarding the company culture of Dollar General, as there is growing pragmatic inertia. Specifically, there is a major loss of enjoyment and motivation with employees that may lead to resistance to changes, such as the security and safety regulations proposed by the police. This can lead to problems not only with safety, but also with employees not working as hard or complying with other changes because of a lack of motivation and care for the company, unfavorably impacting Dollar General.
Now that we have analyzed the evolving physical, political, economic, and social changes, the question is, how will Dollar General adapt? Our new insight is to integrate locally sourced products into Dollar General stores. This idea revolves around expanding the product scope as a means of growing the business and responding to changing environments in order to maintain Dollar General's sustainable competitive advantage. In order to implement our entrepreneurial innovation, we focus on three main elements: product selection, maintaining cost efficiency, and community engagement. The first element of product selection involves identifying 1 to 3 regional products per store that reflect local tastes and preferences. This way, we ensure Dollar General continues to meet the growing diversity in the needs of customers from the numerous regions in the United States. The second key element to our idea is maintaining cost efficiency. Though concerns may arise that integrating more brands for certain products could diminish the lean cost structure of Dollar General that allows them to maintain power over suppliers, adding a small amount of locally sourced products that the area specializes in allows Dollar General to maintain its lean cost model. If the area specializes in a product, there will be an abundance of it available, enabling Dollar General to purchase it for a lower price, as there will be many local suppliers to choose from, increasing Dollar General's bargaining power. As a result, they will be able to purchase these local products for a low cost, which is what allows operation costs to stay low and allows the discounted prices on their products to continue. The third and final key element of implementation is community engagement. A main aspect of our insight is that Dollar General must be more incorporated with the local community. So when we integrate locally sourced products, it's essential we also form partnerships with local suppliers and create more jobs within communities to strengthen our local community presence and show our support. This is crucial as it promotes stronger emotional ties within the communities and contributes to the prosperity of their economies. Our locally sourced product integration insight has a significant impact on many social, political, and strategic aspects of the business. One key social aspect is its impact on corporate social responsibility. As touched on in the implementation section, our expanding scope strategy creates stronger ties within local communities. This positively affects corporate social responsibility because it helps take on a more strategic approach rather than cosmetic, as it uses ethical consumerism to its advantage and seeks profitable lines of good behavior. Therefore, this adds value to Dollar General's products and makes CSR part of its value proposition. Not only does this impact corporate social responsibility from a business perspective, but it also helps improve the public perception of Dollar General by strengthening the institutional logics of morality and competency, which benefits its social evaluation and thus restores its social legitimacy. A major political aspect that our solution impacts is how it leverages the looming trade wars that have arisen. Because of the threat of a trade war between the United States and many other countries, there has been an increase in demand for American goods. So by integrating locally sourced products into Dollar Generals, we are meeting this growing demand of consumers. It also strengthens the connection with customers and their loyalty to the store because Dollar General is showing support for the American people. This also helps differentiate Dollar General from other big corporations as a result of the strategic impact of our insight. This is because integrating locally sourced products makes Dollar General stand out from competitors because it connects more with local communities than most business models. It also differentiates Dollar General because it increases store independence. By having the store implement regional products, it adds a certain level of autonomy to each individual location as they cater to the local products to the preferences of the region. This makes Dollar General a little less mechanistic in their organizational design as it decentralizes some of its decision making. The slight decentralization also has the effect of lessening the pragmatic inertia in regards to less enjoyment and motivation as it increases the responsibility of managers in individual stores, having the added benefit of minimizing this nefarious social change. Overall, Dollar General's competitive advantage stems from its low-cost model, convenience in rural areas, and extensive store network, though it faces challenges like limited variety and competition. Recent changes, such as rural migration, economic and political threats, as well as perceptual shifts, have both strengthened and weakened this advantage. To maintain it, our insight suggests that integrating locally sourced products would maintain cost efficiency and augment community engagement, while also enhancing corporate social responsibility, brand differentiation, and leveraging the growing patriotic sentiments. Thank you for your time.